shift into an attitude of gratitude.
Welcome to the Millionaire Woman Show, where we'll be discussing leadership, business, human potential, inspiring you to live rich from the inside out. Unlock your creativity, stretch out of your comfort zone, break through your barriers, take inspired action, and achieve epic results. Now here's your host, 3-time best-selling author, speaker, and certified executive coach, Debra Kasowski.
Hello, everyone. It's Debra Kasowski, and I'm back with another Millionaire Woman Show where we talk about leadership, life, and business. Today, my special guest, I actually met, I think it's about 10, 11 years ago at an eWomen Network conference in Dallas, Texas. So I'm so excited to share with you so much what she's done in her career. She's an international speaker speaking on topics of radical influence, publicity, networking, kindness, and referrals. She is an author of 4 best-selling books, including Get Noticed and Get Referrals, which I have here by McGraw-Hill, and co-author of Guerrilla Publicity and Network Magic. Her latest book, Profit of Kindness, which I just dived into, you must get this book, absolutely, went #1 in 4 categories. Jill is a master strategist on how to position your business to be more profitable and more visible in the marketplace. She's the CEO of a strategic consulting firm and has over 25 years of experience working with over 100,000 people, plus national and international media. Jill teaches a virtual publicity crash course, consults and speaks all over the world. She also helps authors create book deals with major publishers and agents, as well as foreign rights deals. Visit publicitycrashcourse.com/free gift and also jilllublin.com. And I will have that all in the show notes under the video and everything. So Jill, thank you for coming to the show. It is so exciting to have you here. And after all these years to reconnect to our friend Teresa DeGrobra, connected us again, and it's just lovely to have you here.
Thank you, Deborah. I'm delighted to be here with you.
So Jill, tell us, as a 25-year veteran of publicity, public relations, what is public relations?
So it happens from the minute you walk out of your door, when you go into the Zoom room, when you're hanging out at the coffee bar, having a little chat. The truth is publicity happens all the time. So as a business owner, as a person who is out there with whatever you're promoting, you just got to know you're always promoting something. You're always publicizing something. And I hope you are. I really do. So knowing that public relations is a bigger, let's say a bigger definition, it really comes down to getting media with everything from print, radio, TV, podcasts, blogs, digital media. It's all good and it's all publicity.
And I like how you say this moment you walk out the door, because I think people take for granted how often people go to events and pictures are taken nowadays with people having cell phones, and next thing you know, you're posted on social media and it's like, how did I show up? And I think people take that for granted.
And, to know that it's publicity. And, the great thing is it's easier to get publicity than ever before. And the difficult thing is controlling your message and making sure that what you want out there is out there.
And that's really important, so that people are aligned with their brand, the message that they want to be known for, versus having people make assumptions about what that might be. So I know you feel strongly about the message. So what is it and how can we start creating it?
Oh gosh, yes. If I had a drum to beat, it would be about the message. And that is the power of what you put out there is all about what's the problem you solve, right? And so that is the message. And what I love for people to do is not be like what I call beat the chest publicity, even though you are beating your drum. Yes, you are. And it's about solving others' problems. So it's not just like, oh, we sell weight loss supplements, but it's, the problem today is that 60% of the world is obese. That's the problem, not like I sell weight loss supplements, right? And so we want to look bigger picture at all of it because it makes a big difference.
Yeah. And when you talk about beating, beating the drum or beating the chest, people talk about shameless self-promotion. How do people find a balance between that shameless self-promotion and actually solving the problem? Because I know when they're doing this shameless self-promotion, they're trying to get into that credibility part, right?
So here's the thing. I mean, I think people have to get over it a little bit. And in other words, you are responsible for promoting yourself, your business, your product, your service. You just are. I mean, I wish we could have mom wave the white flag and follow you in front, or, the red carpet doesn't happen by accident. That's very planned and focused, and same thing with all celebrity. And no matter what business you're in, no matter what level of media you want, it is about creating that visibility factor, which then gets you trust and gets you prospects and has you have clients and makes you money. And especially the trust and the familiarity is actually really important in today's world.
So what would someone be considered an expert, and how do they become that?
So an expert is, well, it is what you call yourself, right? So I say, yes, I'm a publicity expert because that is what I am. That is what I do. So look for yourself. What is it that you are an expert in? And let's start there, right? Let's start there. And then you move into other areas depending on what's needed. Like, for example, when Simone Biles was in the Olympics and then said, I'm quitting the Olympics, it's too much. Any of my mental health experts, any of my transformation or goals experts, they would be the ones I called up and said, okay, now's your moment in the news, because there was an expert opportunity, we'll call it, to show up in the media and get noticed. So you got to be willing to, how would I say it, move your expertise according to the needle of what's going on in the news. That's a good thing too.
So what I hear you saying is that you're going to leverage opportunities where you can show up as the expert in that situation, because really thinking about that situation and mental health experts coming up and goal setting, there could be so many vantage points that people can leverage to really make themselves known, as well as bring light to the situation that was going on.
You got it. Exactly.
And that's really cool, because when you think about it, you're an extension of the impact and spreading that message that is so powerful that you referred to earlier.
Yes, yes. I love that. I love the way you restated that. Perfect.
So what you have a secret sauce, a formula for creating that great media script. So now we have a situation that comes up. We have an opportunity. We have the expert. How can they take that secret sauce formula and create a great media script? What's involved in that?
Well, if I give you the secret sauce, no, I will absolutely give you the secret sauce. It's an ancient recipe passed on from generations. Not really. It's actually something that I created because all of you're going to have your secret sauce, right? And so my secret sauce is to create a message that matters, number one. And the way to do that is to fill in this blank. And this is the sauce part. Every recipe, every sauce has a great recipe. My recipe is that you fill in the blank. The problem today is, and then give people real solutions. Give them 3, make it easy. Why 3? Because people can remember in 3s. And don't give them 7 ways, right? Because that's too many and it's too much. But I think 3 is good. It shows that you know what you're talking about. The other thing about a message that's part of the secret sauce is do it in 5-year-old language. Yes, 5. I know you're smart because you're listening to this. And what's helpful is that you translate your message into 5-year-old language and then keep it really simple. Makes a huge difference.
You totally shifted my perspective, because I always thought it was a grade 5 language, but when we move to a 5-year-old language, just how simple it can be and how we tend to complicate things so much.
Well, yeah, because like everything, right? You're in the middle of your own message, you're in the middle of your own promotion. And I just find if we can kind of extract you a little bit from that and look in, it gets a lot easier. So part of that is to create that longer range look into and make it a much simpler message.
Well, Jill, thank you for being so generous and said, because it's no longer a secret. We kind of busted it out. But I know it's going to make an impact. And, for those who haven't read Get Noticed, Get Referrals, I highly suggest that you do. You see, I have some tabs here, and it's one of the books that I've had on my shelf, and now I've got the other one.
I love that. I just have to ask you one thing.
Yeah.
What did you tab? What went?
What did I tab? Let's check.
I always love that because it's, it's fun as an author to go, what is that one spark that went, whoa, I love hearing.
I have a little note here. It says press release, and it's about media rules. The media are constantly needing and always searching for new stories and information for their audiences. And if you can supply it, the media will love you to tell your story. So if you want to be covered by the media, you must follow these rules. And it starts on page 113.
I love that. Thank you.
You are very welcome. So now you gave us secret sauce, and now I'm thinking, okay, we're tasting this, we're hors d'oeuvring this, but then there's the ooh, ah factor. Tell me, tell our audience a little bit more about that.
Well, Debra, also before I even do that, I just want to say
Sure.
You picked up on something really important, and that is use appetizers, not full meals, my friends. Why? Because you want to give people value and benefit always, but don't give them the whole store, right? We want to give people enough, and then keep them interested. And I think that's really a key for any business owner.
Yeah, because you're creating that intrigue, right? That I want that little bit of mystery, that edge of wanting to know a little bit more. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa, what do you mean by that? That's what I mean by the ooh, ah factor. Because it's something that's fun, it's memorable. Ooh, what do you mean by that ooh, ah factor? It's called a soundbite. Sound bites are powerful, helpful. They keep people connected to your message. They're fun, and they're easy to remember. So if it fits in multiple check, you found a soundbite. The best ones are that when people come up to you and say it back to you, or they'll remember a particular piece of something you said to them. So I just think it's an incredibly powerful strategy.
Yes.
And be listening to the people you serve, whether, whatever you're doing, and see what are they saying back to you? What are they picking up on that's fun, that's, tell me more about that. So they'll tell you.
What are a couple of sound bites that have come back to you that you maybe didn't even realize? And you're like, wow, I got to hang on to that.
So one of the things I always tell people is you have to create the I've heard of you somewhere syndrome. People love that. That's a sound bite. The ooh, ah factor. I like to tell people to use everything you've got. That's a sound bite, right? Being a woman, you want to use that for International Women's Day. Being Hispanic, being African American, being, fill in the blank, right. Any ethnicity, religion, go for it, use it for your publicity, because that may be the very thing that's going to push you over the top. I'll just tell you, I remember a gentleman in my virtual publicity course recently, and we were going deep on this, right? And I look across the Zoom room and he goes like this, one of those, I should have had a V8, I like to call it. Head bang. I go, what's going on? And he says, Jill, I never thought about this strategy, use everything you've got. And I just Googled, he's Pakistani. I just Googled Pakistani newsletters, LA area. That's where he lived.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? 5 of them came up. He got in, let's see, I think it was 2 of them, and increased his expansion of his email list by 20,000 people. Now, picture this. Do you think that might be good to expand your list because you got PR in a newsletter dedicated, right, to whatever, using everything you've got? That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying they all became his clients, but I am saying he increased and widened his net in ways that gave him more exposure that could never have been done any other way except through publicity.
Right. So it's not necessarily you have to stay within your niche to get your PR, because I think people can get narrow focused in that versus using everything you got, thinking, okay, if I'm thinking about myself, I'm a runner, I could hit up running magazines if I lift weights, or if I'm writing books and things like that, I could really expand as an example.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Every aspect of who you are. And that's the thing that will take you forward faster and get you in multiple media so that, you know, more and more people can hear about you. So for example, I have this coach, right? And he works a lot with speakers and authors and all kinds of fun folks. Well, he said, oh my gosh, I never thought about this in that way. So he looks up a wonderful calendar entry, and he sees that there's a certain day that's National Hot Dog Day. He goes, Jill, I got a 4-year-old, I make a mean hot dog. So I decided, based on what you taught me to do, to go pitch for National Hot Dog Day, which then drove everybody back to, guess what? His website, right? Because even though he's in talking about National Hot Dog and being the dad of a 4-year-old,
Yeah.
yes, what happens, right? People find you. And here's the thing, I just want people to find you. So if you get in the media door, in whatever way you get in, do you think it might be good to have the media door open so that your recognition goes up, familiarity and trust increases, and of course, prospects and clients come to your door? That is a beautiful thing.
So now what I'm thinking, on my head's going like popcorn of all these ideas that, you know, when people who are listening right now or viewing us here on YouTube, to really consider sports you're involved in, the hobbies that you do, the types of books that you could be writing book reviews, anything, if you're in a family, or what you do on vacation and travel, so many different wide ranges of, there would be endless possibilities of what you can
and endless opportunities to get in media. Isn't that exciting?
That's incredible.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be unidimensional. This is multidimensional, and so many more possibilities will open up for you.
So can you tell us a little bit more about how we calculate and, you know, really understand the ROI of publicity? Because it's not the one-time shots.
Well, and sometimes it is. Like,
Okay.
for instance, one of my clients, she switched from being a human resource consultant to then executive coaching, right? And doing one strategy oriented like this, because she used everything she's got, pitched her hometown magazine dedicated to women where she lives. And guess what? They chose her. She got in it. 9 prospects, 6 clients, $4,000 worth of business. Like that. That was ROI.
Amazing. And there was no investment financially on her part to do that.
No, it's free. Publicity is free. This is not advertising. We're talking about publicity, which is free. And then one of my clients, Ryan, as an instructional engineer, had to build his business because he actually got fired from his corporate job, had to rebuild a business, consulting business, and then using everything he's got. He is Asian American, doesn't speak a word of Chinese, just saying. However, what we did was we translated his articles into Chinese, put them into the Chinese Times. One article got him $7,000 worth of consulting business from using everything he's got.
That's amazing. That's amazing. You know, such incredible opportunities out there. And, you know, when people see the way our world has been in the past 18 months, and, you know, I'm a believer that we also create our environment, regardless of what the economy is doing around us. You've just demonstrated today that how many possibilities are untapped into, that people can be leveraging and really creating their own opportunities.
Absolutely. And I think this is, for me, what the curtain I want to open for people is really, there are a lot of media opportunities. There are podcasts, there's just all kinds of ways for you to get in now. It's better than ever. That's exciting. Very
exciting. Jill, I know you have a great offer for us, how we could work with you. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So I run a virtual publicity course. no nonsense. It's live, it's interactive with me on Zoom. So simple, easy, wherever you are. We're going to actually do documents in the course, meaning get things done for you. And then I'm going to give you a blueprint system for making your publicity happen consistently and persistently, and spill all the secrets that nobody will usually tell you about actually how to get publicity done. So it's super simple. You go to publicitycrashcourse.com and you put in the code Stay Visible, all lowercase. And I know you're going to have it in the notes, so thank you for that. And that will give you my pandemic recovery pricing. Okay, that's what I'm calling it. Super affordable, get it done publicity course. It's your moment to make it happen and to do it the right way so that the media says yes to you.
And the code again is?
Stay Visible. So you go to publicitycrashcourse.com, put in the code Stay Visible, all lowercase.
Excellent, excellent. Can you give us 2 more resources for people to use for PR?
Yeah, I love HARO, helpareporterout.com. It is chock filled of media that needs you right now. And so super excited about that one. That's a great place. And then the other one that I'd recommend is nationaldaycalendar.com. Remember I told you about the parent with the hot dog story? That's where he found out that it was National Hot Dog Day. And that was a great example of a story using everything he's got.
That's incredible. Now, I have a couple more questions, and I know that we're almost out of time, but I really, because I started diving into the profit of kindness, I would love for you just to give a shout out and a little bit more about why our audience should read this book.
Oh, thank you. So, you know, in today's world, kindness is everything. And interestingly enough, when I started writing The Profit of Kindness, because of course, I've written, 3 other books, including Guerrilla Publicity. And I kept looking at how does kindness fit in with publicity? And what I discovered in interviewing lots of wonderful companies was that the kinder the company, the happier the CEO, the clients, customers. Even if you're a one-person business and operation, it didn't matter, from one person up to, multinational companies. We found that there was consistently more happiness, better profits, and of course the culture was good. So why does kindness matter? Well, I think we can all understand that in these wild times that we've all been living through, kindness is the one piece that's going to uplift everyone and everything and make business a lot easier. So that's what I found. And then I put together a list, what I like to call of pathways to kindness. Like everyone's always talking about ROI, return on investment. Right. I want people to have return on kindness, ROK, rocks. So we put some rocks together, things like patience and flexibility. So some important concepts that make a big difference in being more kind.
Thank you for sharing that. And I know you've written 4 books, but is there a book that has really impacted your life?
Oh, that's like asking who's your favorite kid, right? So, I mean, I will tell you Guerrilla Publicity, because it was my first. And also we're in our 3rd edition now. So that's super exciting. Yeah. And just because it was my first book, it was the very thing that launched my career, really. And I'm always very grateful to J. Conrad Levinson, who was the author of Guerrilla Marketing, which sold over 1 million books, the whole Guerrilla series. So it's a blessing to be part of that. And I feel that Profit of Kindness is like my next evolution, right? Now I run an intentional kindness community, and that's just been really wonderful. So, everything keeps growing and evolving like we all do. Yeah. And I think that's, for me, what's really the next on the horizon.
Wow, that's amazing. Just watching your growth and hearing, getting updated as to where you are right now. One of my final questions for you is that what I like to ask all my guests is, what does it mean to you to live rich from the inside out?
Well, I'll tell you a couple things. One is that I'm responsible for me, right? So that's all my reactions. That's my own happiness. That is my own kindness, right? And even in the midst of whatever's going on out in the world, I can live rich inside, whether I'm having tough cash flow, whether I'm having lots of flow. Rich is an internal feeling, I believe. I mean, it's great when it reflects outside, and of course we all want that. And I think the more you feel rich in here, the easier it is to get rich out there, right? So for me, it's an inner game, and then manifests in the exterior world.
Thank you so much for all those nuggets of wisdoms that you shared with us. So many important points, you know, some of the proven secrets, some actionable techniques, and helping drive prospects to your door and profit to the pockets, as well as reframing that richness that we all want in our lives. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here on the Millionaire Woman Show. You can also go over to my website at debrakasowski.com, where you're going to get a 3-part video course of making habits stick, so you can put focus and consistency in some of those goals, and, you know, get a hold of Jill's book and work through those press releases. Set some goals for yourself so you can smash those dreams right out of the ballpark and make them happen. As Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. And I would love for you to take a snapshot or share this video or on your podcast player and tag Jill and myself to let us know what stood out for you in this interview. Go out and make today great.